The most dangerous zodiac signs: when they lose control. Some people lose control loudly, and everyone sees it coming. Others hold it in for so long that when they finally break, the reaction shocks everyone. Losing control is not always about screaming or throwing things. Sometimes it's emotional flooding, reckless decisions, brutal honesty, or saying the one thing they know will hurt. These are the signs that can become intense when their patience runs out, their emotions take over, or they feel pushed past their limit. Today, we're ranking the most dangerous zodiac signs when they lose control. For this ranking, check your Mars sign and Moon sign. Mars shows how you react under pressure, how you express anger, and what happens when you feel challenged. Your Moon sign reveals your emotional triggers, instincts, and the feelings you struggle to manage when things get intense. Starting at number 7, Sagittarius. Sagittarius is usually known for being free-spirited, funny, honest, and hard to keep pinned down. But when Sagittarius loses control, their intensity comes through impulse and brutal truth. They may not sit quietly and calculate every word. Instead, they can explode with honesty that feels careless, sharp, and impossible to take back. When pushed too far, Sagittarius may say exactly what they've been holding in, even if it destroys the mood, the relationship, or the trust in the room. They can turn a serious moment into a verbal firestorm, saying things with such confidence that the other person feels completely exposed. Their anger often comes fast, and because they value freedom, they may react badly when they feel trapped, controlled, or judged. The part people remember is that Sagittarius may calm down later and act like it wasn't that serious. But the person on the receiving end remembers every word. Sagittarius ranks 7th because their loss of control is usually quick, fiery, and impulsive. But the damage can last longer than they realize. At number 6, Gemini. Gemini becomes intense when they lose control because their mind starts moving faster than their emotions can handle. They may not always look physically aggressive or overly dramatic, but they know how to use words, timing, and quick reactions in the middle of conflict. When Gemini is upset, the conversation can suddenly turn into a maze. A triggered Gemini may jump from one point to another, bring up old conversations, change the tone, and make you feel like you're arguing with 5 versions of the same person. One moment they're joking, the next they're cold, then defensive, then sarcastic, then acting like you misunderstood everything. Their loss of control often shows through verbal chaos. What can make this hard to handle is that Gemini can say something cutting and then quickly move on while you're still trying to process what happened. They may expose what they noticed, mock the seriousness of the moment, or use humor to escape the heaviness of the situation. Gemini ranks 6th because when their mind loses emotional balance, their words can become unpredictable, sharp, and deeply destabilizing. At number 5, Taurus. Taurus does not usually lose control quickly. That's exactly why it can be so intense when they finally do. Taurus is a fixed earth sign, which means they often try to stay steady, patient, and grounded. They may tolerate a lot, stay quiet for a long time, and give people many chances. But once they reach their limit, that calm can turn into a wall. When Taurus loses control, it is rarely random. It usually comes after feeling disrespected, pushed, rushed, betrayed, or forced into something they didn't want. By the time Taurus reacts, they may already feel like they warned you in 100 quiet ways. Their anger can feel heavy, stubborn, and impossible to move. They may refuse to listen, refuse to forgive, or refuse to soften no matter what you say. What makes this intense is the finality. Taurus may not yell the loudest, but once they decide they are done, they become extremely difficult to reach. They can shut down, cut someone off, or hold their ground with a level of stubbornness that feels unbreakable. Taurus ranks 5th because their anger builds slowly, but when it lands with weight. At number 4, Leo. Leo becomes intense when they lose control because their pride is deeply connected to how they feel respected, valued, and seen. Leo can be warm, loyal, protective, and generous. But when they feel humiliated or dismissed, their fire can take over quickly. Their reaction often comes from wounded pride more than simple anger. A Leo who loses control may become dramatic, loud, defensive, or emotionally explosive. They may feel the need to prove a point, dominate the room, or make sure nobody walks away thinking they were weak. If they feel embarrassed in front of others, the reaction can become even stronger because public disrespect hits Leo especially hard. What makes Leo hard to handle in this state is their ability to turn conflict into a performance. They can make the room feel charged, pull others into the tension, and use powerful words that attack someone's confidence. Leo ranks fourth because their loss of control often comes with pride, passion, and a need to reclaim power immediately. At number 3, Cancer. Cancer losing control can be one of the most emotionally intense experiences because their anger rarely comes without hurt underneath it. Cancer feels deeply, remembers deeply, and attaches meaning to everything. So when they finally lose control, it may not be about just one argument. It may be about every moment they felt ignored, unsafe, abandoned, or unappreciated. A triggered Cancer may bring up the past with painful accuracy. They remember the tone, the date, the promise, the silence, and the way something made them feel. When they lose emotional balance, all of that can come rushing out at once. Their words may become personal because they know the emotional history of the relationship so well. The emotional weight can make the other person feel deeply guilty. Cancer may cry, withdraw, lash out, or make the room feel heavy with everything they have been carrying. Cancer ranks third because when they lose control, it is not just anger speaking. It is pain, memory, fear, and attachment all coming out together. At number 2, Scorpio. Scorpio becomes intense when they lose control because their emotions are private, powerful, and rarely simple. Scorpio does not always react immediately. They may observe first, stay silent, and let the pressure build. But when they finally snap, the reaction can feel targeted because Scorpio often knows exactly where the emotional weak points are. A Scorpio who loses control may not waste energy on random anger. They can become sharp, direct, and psychologically intense. They may say the one thing that cuts deepest, expose what they noticed long ago, or make someone feel completely seen in the most uncomfortable way. Their anger often carries emotional precision. What makes Scorpio especially hard to handle is that betrayal, disrespect, or emotional dishonesty can unlock a side of them that is difficult to calm down. Once they feel pushed past trust, they may stop protecting your feelings. Scorpio ranks second because their loss of control is rarely shallow. It can be deep, personal, and almost impossible to forget. And at number 1, Aries. Aries takes the top spot because when Aries loses control, the reaction is immediate, fiery, and extremely hard to contain. Aries is ruled by Mars, the planet connected to action, conflict, drive, and raw instinct. So when Aries feels challenged, disrespected, blocked, or provoked, they may react before they have fully processed what they are feeling. A triggered Aries can go from calm to explosive very quickly. They may raise their voice, confront directly, make impulsive decisions, or say exactly what they feel in the heat of the moment. They don't always plan to hurt anyone, but their anger can move faster than their self-control. That speed is what makes them so intense when emotions take over. The powerful part about Aries is that they often want the conflict handled right now. They don't always want to wait, cool down, or talk around the issue. They want action, reaction, and release. Aries ranks number 1 because when they lose control, there is very little delay between feeling the fire and acting on it. So those are the most dangerous zodiac signs when they lose control. But remember, astrology shows patterns, not permanent labels. Being on this list doesn't mean someone is harmful or unsafe by default. It means that when this energy becomes immature, overwhelmed, or pushed beyond its limit, these reactions can show up. The same intensity that can become destructive can also become courage, honesty, protection, and strength when it's handled with awareness. Comment your Mars sign and Moon sign below, and tell me if you agree with this ranking. Did your sign make the list, or did someone instantly come to mind? Like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more Zodiac rankings.